Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Kickback Presents the All Memphis Post Game Show. It is me, your boy Jamal, holding it down by myself tonight on the show, recapping tonight's game against the Grizzlies. Played the LA Clippers again. They played them last night, and so this was a back-to-back 2-game homestand for the Grizzlies. They lost tonight. They lost to the Clippers 119-99. If you remember, they beat the Clippers last night 122-94. If you watched the show last night, this is how I expected last night's game to go. Thursday night's game to go. I thought the Clippers would come out and do this to us the first game, but the Grizzlies ended up winning the first game on Thursday. Clippers got the rematch on Friday. So, not really much to say about this game. The Grizzlies played well. You know, they didn't score over 100 points. The defense played well. It's just that the Clippers have better players. And the Clippers did what the Clippers do. Paul George actually didn't do much today, but Kawhi Leonard got back on his grind tonight. He had 30 points, I think. And then Lou Williams, who only had, I think, 9 or 11 or something like that yesterday, ended up with like 15 or 17. Patrick Beverly hit threes. You know, they kind of played with the way they're used to playing. And the Grizzlies didn't have Justice Winslow, even though this would have been his third game back. You kind of got used to having him out there. Grayson Allen didn't play that much. Dillon Brooks kind of struggled. So it was a game that it looked like the Grizzlies won last night. The Grizzlies played like they won last night, and the Clippers played like they lost last night. It's like we said earlier. And this is what you had the thought process of a playoff series in this is that you got 2 games. You really only want to get one, right? You really assume that you're going to get one. The Clippers know how hard it is on the road. I'm sure they wanted to come in and get at least one. And the Grizzlies wanted to get at least one against a good team. They did that. So you can kind of see a little sense of urgency going a little bit, not much, but just a little bit. And when the Clippers wanted to play well, they played well. Let's look at the stats. Let's pull up the stats first, shall we? Let me go to team stats. Not going to be here long since it's just me tonight. Mace is out there doing things that Mace do. And I didn't hit anybody else up. I probably should have hit J.O. or somebody up, but maybe next time. So you're looking at the stats right now, and you see that they shot 55%, 14 to 35 from 3, and we shot 9 to 28 from 3. So they made 5 more threes than us. That's 15 points. If we make some of the, that's kind of your separation right there. What's that? They lost by 20 points. If you not saying you got to make all your threes, but if you make more threes, obviously the game gets closer. We shot 12 of 16 from the free throw line. And if you remember last night game, we didn't even shoot 23s last night. I think we shot about maybe 18 or maybe even like 15 threes. And we still ended up blowing them out a little bit. We scored a lot of paint points last night. Tonight we had 54 in the paint, which is a little bit more our speed. About that, between 45 and 55 points in the paint every night is what you can expect. Not many turnovers, didn't have many turnovers last night either. But we scored a lot off of their turnovers last night, and they didn't. And it's the roles kind of flipped. They out-rebounded us by 10. I think we out-rebounded them last night. So they had 34 assists on 44 made baskets. So they were moving the ball efficiently. We ended up with 24 on 39. Not like I say, if we played this type of game against another team, obviously you want to score more. But we played this type of game against another team. probably would have won. But they had superstars on their team. Kawhi Leonard had 30 points on 8 to 13. So it's not really much you can do without everybody there to play the game and to guard, do all the other good stuff. I didn't write many notes for this. Like I said, I was just watching it to watch. I didn't know if I was going to do the show because I do it by myself, but I said I'd do it by myself tonight. Why not? Interesting. We didn't see Grayson Allen that much. He played 19 minutes, went over 4. We saw Desmond. Saw DeAnthony Melton, who didn't play much last night, and I think Mason made the point on last night's show about with the roster getting healthier, there's going to have to be some decisions on who plays. But the fact that the second half of the schedule is so condensed that some players might have designated off days. And I don't think this was a designated off day for Grayson Allen. Obviously, he started, but he only played 19 minutes. And this is what, and DeAnthony came in, played 24, had 16 points, and played some hellified defense. So it's going to be interesting what happens between, and we talked about it at length last night, between Desmond Bane, DeAnthony Melton, and Grayson Allen. Who's going to get those minutes at the starting 2 and the backup 2? Last night, Tyus Jones had a career-high game. Tonight was he kind of came back to earth a little bit more. This is more what you expect from him, 6 points. You expect more than 6 points. But you got 6 and 3 from him tonight, 2 for 6. He shot 11 shots last night. I think it was 8 for 11 or 9 for 11 last night. That's something that you won't see from him that often, the performance last night. Ja gave you 20 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, but he got ejected with probably like 2 minutes to go in the game. We were mounting the comeback, trying to cut it to like 11 with like 2 or 3 minutes to go, and got a steal or a rebound in the outlet. Kyle Anderson gave it to Ja. Ja attacked the rim with the pad in the left hand layup. Felt he got bumped by Nicholas Batum. The ref didn't call it. And Ja let him have it. He let him have it all the way back down the court. And actually what happened is by Ja missing that layup and arguing with the ref, Batum came back down and got a corner 3, and that kind of sealed the game. So Ja ended up getting 2 quick techs, got thrown out. I'm pretty sure. I think that's his first ejection. I can't remember him ever getting ejected again. I didn't check that, but it might have been his first ejection. He got his money's worth though. He let them know how he was feeling about it. Yeah, I mean, there's really not much to say about this game. You do want Dylan Brooks came out and kind of gave you a typical Dylan Brooks night. Last night he was a little above average. Tonight, 5 of 14. 11 points. A lot of those 11 came in the fourth quarter. Let's see if I can see what he shot. Recap. No, Gamecast. Is that what I want? No, that's not what I want. Yeah, it is what I want. Okay. Don't do that. Fourth quarter. Dylan Brooks. Yeah, Dylan was 3 for 3 in the fourth quarter. 1 3, 2 twos, and some free throws. So he scored 9. That's 3, 5, 7. That is 7 of his 11 points in the fourth quarter. He went 3 for 3, and then the rest of the game, one. Yeah, he didn't do well. He didn't shoot that well the rest of the game. But it was Dylan. Like he's really aggressive in the first quarter, tries to get himself going. And then he just kind of goes from there. Play some good defense though. They cheated him out of an and-1 call. It was a 3-pointer and-1, where should have been a 4-point play. But in the third quarter, they did. They cheated the Grizzlies out of 2 and-1s. Maybe not cheat, but they took 2 and-1s away from the Grizzlies. The third quarter was the Clippers outscored us by 2. But it was almost like back and forth. We cut the lead. Let's see, the score was 63-47 at half. So it's 17 points down. And at one point we cut it like to 9 or 8. And then, they would push it back up to like 14. Then we cut it back down to like 10. And then, going back and forth. But toward the end of the third, they closed quarters really well. And they closed the third quarter really well. And we were kind of obviously playing from behind in the fourth quarter. So this loss brings the Grizzlies record to 14-15, and the Clippers record is 24-11. Like I said, if you want real analysis on this game in the series or whatnot, just listen to last night's show because you're not going to get that just from me tonight. What you are going to get from me tonight is me cursing out the gambling gods. The gambling gods have been on my ass with this team. Always something with this team. And when it comes to betting, I got a good, pretty handle on it, but not that much of a good handle on it. But yeah, they to look forward before we talk about that. The Grizzlies play the Rockets on Sunday evening. Rockets have lost 10 straight. They haven't won a game since they beat the Grizzlies in Memphis the night that Christian Wood got hurt a couple weeks ago. So you don't want to count dubs before they happen, but this should be an easy game. Not an easy game, but this should be a winnable game for the Grizzlies. You'll probably have Justice Winslow back. So you got a more complete team playing. So we'll see. We got 3 more games for the All-Star break. Hopefully they can go 3-0 in these games. Let's see who they play. See who the Grizzlies got in these 3 games before the break. So we kind of do some little forecasting here. So they got Houston, Washington, and Milwaukee. At Houston, at Washington, and Milwaukee at home next Thursday on the 4th. You should go 2-1. Washington is playing. You should beat Houston. Washington has been playing a lot better. Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal are getting some continuity, getting some connection together. But that still should be a game that the Grizzlies win. And the Milwaukee game on Thursday the 4th, you can just chalk that up probably. But yeah, so we should go 2-1 these next couple games. And see what happens with that. If not, not the end of the world, but you just want to continue progressing. You can take a loss, but don't look bad in a loss. Don't pick up bad habits in a loss. All the things that I'm saying about this team, we don't expect this team to be world beaters and 5th seed in the playoffs, but you do expect this team to continue to get better every game and to continue to have those building blocks for a successful rest of this season and the beginning of next season. You want to see enough from these players that you can have hope for them for next season and what they can bring to this team and to this organization. Especially when Jaren gets back, if Jaren comes back this year. I don't know. I'm looking at the second half of the schedule. I don't know if you bring Jaren back this year. And at what point you bring him back. But that's neither here nor there. Let's get into what everybody wanted to know about when they come to the show. Our player of the game. Actually, I'm going to give my player of the game to. I think what I'm gonna start doing next week is keeping track of who we give it to. Player of the game, I'm actually going to give it to Kyle Anderson. Kyle is just so steady, 12 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 5 steals. The 4 turnovers hurt. Hell, he had half the team's turnovers. But Kyle is steady. Jonas, 22 and 11. Ja, 20 and 5, 24 and 5, 24 and 5. But I'm going to give it to Kyle. Played a really good overall all around game. So Kyle Anderson is my player of the game. My bum of the game, Grayson Allen. 0 for 4, 0 for 3. Grayson is like one of those players where if his shot's not falling, you don't really know you're getting from him. He gave you 3 rebounds and 3 assists. There's nothing to sneeze at. But you got to do more than that to keep DeAnthony and Desmond Bane off the court. Like Desmond Bane scored 4, 2 assists, 1 rebound, but he's also a rookie, and I like Desmond Bane more than I like Grayson Allen. But so Grayson is my bum of the game. My play of the game. That happened. There was a couple of them, but I can't really remember what they all were. There were a couple candidates. There was Ja driving the lane, did the behind the back pass to Jonas for a layup, which was cool. Kyle Anderson did another one of those full court outlet passes to Ja. This is not the one he got fouled on, but this is the one he got a layup on. So yeah, I would say something like that. Some plays of the game, some good ones, and the usual. Did Jamal win some money tonight? Short answer, no. I didn't even do what I usually do with this and couch. Going. I thought about betting the under because you knew it was going to have these teams are going to hit the under, but I did not. I went with my stats-based bet, which I told you guys I was going to basically use the same stats from last night to see how it would turn out. And I did for the most part, but I made a few switches. So what I want to do is look at last night, see what most I couldn't do that last night. So for this game, I had 12 selections, got 9 out of the 12 right. I mean, I know what I be doing sometimes. But I said that Kyle Anderson would score more than 10 points. He did. I said that Kyle would get more than 4 rebounds. He did. Say that Ja would get more than 15 points. He did. I said Ja would get more than 6 assists. This is like the first game in maybe 10 games. So I think that Ja hadn't had 6 assists. Maybe something. Maybe it was another game. Maybe last week he only had like 3 or 4. But he finished with 5 assists, and I'm sure if he hadn't gotten thrown out in there with 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, he wouldn't have got it. He would have got another one. But the players were tricking off his assists. Like Xavier, what's my boy name? I'm gonna call him Xavier Thames. He played a long time ago. Xavier Tillman missed about he shot 2 for 6, and the 6 shots that he missed were right around the rim that Ja passed him the ball, like easy layups. And he just missed layups. So Ja if Tillman makes 2 of those layups, obviously Ja gets the assist number. But, that's how the cookie crumbles. I said that Dylan Brooks scored over 12.5 points. He ended up with 11. I was fighting myself on should I do the 10 plus? I said, should I just have him at 10 or more? But Dylan had a good game last night. You can always pretty much count on Dylan giving you 12 points. And look, he shot 5 of 14 tonight and got to 11. If he gets to the free throw line, if the refs call it, because when they foul him or whenever, he attacks the rim ferociously, but they never really give him free throws. Gets the free throw line, he makes that, makes another shot. He goes 6 for 14 or he goes 6 for 12, whatever. We get that. And I said Paul George would score 20 points. He did not. He had another maybe 13 points tonight, which was the same that he finished up with last night. It's interesting. 6 for 11. He didn't shoot as much as he shot last night, but can't score against us. He did give eight assists and 4 rebounds. So that's good, I guess, for Paul George. I said Kawhi Leonard would score over 20 points. He did. I said Paul George would get 4 rebounds. He did. I said Kawhi Leonard would get over 4 rebounds. He did. I said Serge Ibaka to get 4 rebounds. He got it. I said Jonas to get over 11. He got 22. And Jonas to get over 8 rebounds, and he ended up with 11 rebounds. So the 3 ones I missed, that Ja would get over 6 assists, Dylan Brooks would get over 12.5 points, and Paul George would score over 20. And this is, I think we looked it up last night. I'm going to look it up again just for my own edification to see that this is the first time all season so not the first time, but so boom, boom. He had 2 games where this is under 15 though. This is the first time he's had consecutive games where he scored under 15. So before these 2 games, the least he's ever scored in the season in a game was 11, and it was against the Thunder a month ago. And so the Grizzlies held Paul George at 13 points in 2 quarters. I mean, in 2 games, shot 3 of 12 last night, 6 of 11 tonight. Pretty good defense, man. You shut down one, but that's the thing when you play against the Clippers. You shut down Paul George, but then Kawhi Leonard goes off for 30, and Lou Will gives you 17, and then Patrick Beverly gives you 9. I think he made 3 threes tonight. Gives you 11. So, it is what it is. But with that being said, we got the next show will be on Sunday. We got the Tigers on Sunday, and we got the Grizzlies on Tigers on Sunday at noon. Got the Grizzlies on Sunday in the evening. So Mace will be back with me and the rest of the Facebook Live crew to recap the Grizzlies versus Cincinnati. And we'll talk about what might happen with the rest of their season. And then we got the Tigers versus Cincinnati, then the Grizzlies versus the Rockets. So with that being said, my name is Jamal. You can, if you're already here, just go to YouTube and type in Diamond in the Bluff Media and click subscribe. You can watch all the old shows there. Or you can go and follow me on Twitter. My name is Nerdy McFly, NERDYMCFLY. You can follow the show on Instagram at _kickback_podcast. Follow Mason at Barber Slim on Twitter. So yeah, with that being said, man, like we used to end the kickback, man, stay safe, stay woke, keep your head on a swivel, and we are out.